What do you see the future of short-term rentals?
The fastest growth in the U.S. is behind us in terms of supply. If for no other reason, like these regulations aren't going away. There are places where the regulations are probably good, and there are more places where I think they're political gamesmanship. But from a regulatory perspective, it's going to get harder. There's going to be less of this. The supply growth will slow down. The second thing, because there's more competition, the returns on these aren't as good as they used to be. And so you've got fewer people chasing them, and I think that's a big part of the reason we see people coming into midterm rentals is that if you want to be in the real estate game, here's an opportunity to kind of have a little bit of the best of both worlds. And so if I were a betting person, like where is there money to be made in short-term rentals? I think that still like the biggest adage probably still holds. A bigger format house with a scarce geographic asset, waterfront, riverfront, ski in, ski out, like it's going to be hard to really lose on those because there won't be more water in the US. There won't be more opening resorts in the US. Like you're going to have a scarce asset. So if you're not playing for cash flow, I think that part will still pretty much work.
Yeah, I think, you seem to be kind of negative on it overall, but I think there's also some realistic, inferences that he made there. So I think just about any business regulation increases over time. Don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Maybe I'm treading on a tightrope here, but I think, regulation can be a good thing. Hear me out in the sense that, in a market like ours, Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, you can really do a rental anywhere and it's kind of nice if we just limited that to, properties that are within close driving distance to the ocean, because then we would get rid of some of the properties out there that are really cheap, that are really not making the revenue or, any of the stuff that the owners expect anyways. And then that way we'd get rid of some of the bad properties that are decreasing rates. We'd have less properties, which would, less properties, demand stays the same. That's going to increase price, right? So I think that would be kind of a nice thing, regulations in some ways. But yeah, overall, I think what he was saying is correct. If you can find a property that has something unique, like on the ocean, they're not building more ocean, right? So if you're on the ocean, that's a very limited supply. Over time, you're not going to lose on that.